this app that I found so far, which is best for the basic person, is Woofer Box Pro. And I'm going to show you why. This box, or this system, is very simple. Excuse me. So, what I'm going to look at is this. Because I've looked at other systems that I will go with a company called American Base. They have on their website all their models, and they also offer you box designs. So I punched in these box designs on here. One I saved, one I have not. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into drivers, and on their box designs they have loaded. See that right now I have this. This is a Orion XTR15 D2. Okay. These parameters, these are all put inside either the box to come with your subwoofers. It's usually included, or if not, you can find this information on websites. So you punch in all this information, okay, and into this app, and this actually calculates everything for you. So anyways, we're going to go into, which I already have, which was the last thing I saved right there, is American Base XFLs 1244 times 2 of them. So we're going to load that. Now see how the parameters and everything has now changed. Nothing's the same as it was before. So this takes everything into consideration. This is a true app so far that it functions. I can't remember what I paid for this app, by the way. So anyways, one thing I hate is whenever you come onto these pages, this stuff always shows up, so I hate that. So anyways, so with that, now you can go into the box. Now what I always do is, because I notice in this, when you go into this information here, you really have to go into this, because for some reason, oh, it's not on right now, but usually it's always in burp mode, but it might be because I haven't reset my thing and I was already in here, so I might be lucky. But anyways, it's in music mode, so it's okay, because see, you can set up burps for SPLs. It'll actually do the calculations, and we'll get to that later, and I'll show you why. So anyways, first thing that we're going to look at, so the XFLs. Well, there's on here XFLs. So these are the box that they tell you on their site, which I wrote the parameters down. Okay, I wrote the parameters down. This is the SPL box. It needs to be 36 inches wide by 16 inches tall by 17.5 inches deep. Port is supposed to be 4 inches wide, 14 inches high, and 19 inches in depth. Now they say this is an L port. It says 12 back and then 7 in the other direction. But it's really weird, because if you do the math, it cannot be a full 4-inch port. So there's a weird reason why it's like that, because it does say it's an L port. So we can look at that. You'll see what I'm talking about later. It's kind of weird. So I just put in the parameters and just said this is what it was. Now this is what it gave me with those parameters, and this is all an inch subwoofer box, an inch MDMF. It gave me 3.58 cubic feet. It gave me 40 hertz. Not exactly, but I'll give you the information. And it gave me that it was 15.63 cubic inches per foot, square foot of box. And you'll see why this ratio works out later on too in another part of this app, if you so choose to watch all this video or come across that part. Anyways, so that's the information that it tells you. Okay, so this is what that information does. Now here's that program here. I've loaded these specs. Now that spec is, I gave it 3.54, but 3.58. I punched in all the information. It was 41 hertz. The here I am. Sorry, my bad. I'm just reading off of the side of here. And I realized I didn't tilt the camera back for you. Okay, so my bad. So it's 3.54 off of here, and it's also 41.11 because it was 40 hertz, but I think I put 40 hertz because, oh, sorry, it is because on the app it'll show you it's 40 hertz because I did not include subwoofer displacement. When you put the subwoofer displacement in, the port frequency goes up. Remember that. So the bigger your sub, believe me, your frequency can go up quite a bit, up to like two depending on if you're talking about like 12s, 15s, and stuff like that, because the size of the magnets, 3-inch voice coils, and these new 4-inch voice coils, etc. So, anyways, so so we got all this. So this is everything that it built by their dimensions. So when you do all of this, and you have that now, and you take this, it tells you what that box with 1,000, but we're going to take that off because we're going to put 2,000 watts because it's 2,000 watts RMS into these subwoofers. Pump that up. Now we're up to 143. That just went from 140.7 to 143 there. We're going to zoom in just a little bit more there for you since there's not that much information you need to see on that side. Right there. Okay, so now, so that's what it gave you. Now, what I like about it is on the cabin, it tells you how much in the space of the cabin. Now, here's what's really cool. I'm going to show you some other information in a sec. Sorry, I'm not going to skip off. So it shows you all the things that this does. Now, purple is the excursion of the subwoofer. So what I've noticed is we want this to stay like this. Because if you notice that this is like a clipping symbol I've noticed for anything else. So, and when you really build a really weird box, this goes really sharp and like sticks along the top, like it flat lines, like it's not good. So you can tell that this is clipping, this is bad. So anyways, so not until about about 32 hertz, which sounds about right considering 12s shouldn't be playing at 32 hertz, tuned for 32 hertz, because you got to remember the octaves going down, going up, etc. You want a box, if you want 32 hertz, believe me, 40 hertz will make so 32 hertz. It's playing just 3 dB, a little bit lower than what it would be, but you'd still be getting like a vibration like crazy where you see all your stuff going crazy in your cars and stuff like that, and throwing shirts where it vibrates and breathes really heavy. But the key is you guys want to build these subwoofer boxes the right way, man, I'm telling you, and they will automatically do that with less power and do wonders, as you'll be able to tell and see. Because as of right now, as you see, this is how great this app is. It says that it's 143.3, 44 hertz tuned for at 1,115 watts. Okay, now I'm going to switch this vehicle. That's all I'm going to do. Right now, this is in a Nissan that's tuned for 49 hertz because it tells you how to measure from the trunk space. Follow the trunk, because it would be a trunk. This is a hatch, an SUV, but you'd follow the trunk. Then you go up the window, up the roof, down to where they would put the microphone-ish. So that's what you do for all of these vehicles. You punch that in and you press the calculate button and it will automatically give that to you. Well, I'm going to load, say, a friend's car. So that was that car. So 1,115 watts. Remember that. So now we just loaded it. Now this is at 55. It was at 49. Now it's 10.1 when it was at 11.4. So now that we have that in there and we're going to calculate, you'll see 143.4, it climbed up. So you do see it changes, and look, the wattage also changed. Now it only changed 0.2 dB, but the wattage went to 1,186. So it also took another 71 watts to make that number even happen. So, etc. And as you can see, the excursion line stays low. Now, what you can see is you can take this bad boy, take your amp, which they tell you should run your stuff about 20% better. So we should say you need 2,400 watts. Refresh that and look at your excursion still stays nice and low. You go up to 144.2 dB. You gained almost a full dB, and you're down to 43 hertz, and it costs you an extra 300 watts out of 4. Like, it really breaks everything down really cool. Like, this is a really good system. Oh, there you go. Was that a thing this whole time? I'm hoping you guys were able to at least view into that. I'll go back to show you a thing anyway so you can see. Show you another vehicle actually. So we can go to, let's load. We'll load, how about a Journey. So here you go. Now look, it's at 45 hertz. 45 hertz, 12.4 feet. Now watch, this will drop. Oh, only not that much, 144, but look at 1478, 43 hertz. It's also all the same, and we'll punch all this in. You can see where the excursion lines, and you can see all this. So here's where that works. So here's where you'll see just below 30 hertz. And below 30 hertz and just above 55 hertz is your two impedance marks that you always see them say on the mark, where is that supposed to be? Then there's one in the middle where your peak is supposed to be, because this is your lower, this is your higher, of supposed to be like how this yellow line is, but in the low end of it, to tell you where your amp is going to be really comfortable. Anything below this is not good. Like, it just wants to stay away from this. It's really pushing the sub here, and it's really pushing the sub, the hum up here. So this is your real safe zone, which this is what you want anyways, because you want a frequency in between here, because you want around 40 hertz, because then you get 30 hertz all the way up to 50 hertz. So that's why you've noticed like most sub boxes are tuned between like 40 hertz. If you've seen how that other box was tuned, the boxes are saying they're tuning them down to how much? If American Bass told you they were tuning their box for 41 hertz with their subs in it, would you think they're crazy that you're buying it? Exactly. So why are they hiding these little secrets? So there's little things that they do. But anyways, this shows you excursion. But I'm going to show you one thing. Here's something that's cool. You can go like this and say, well, I need you to build me my dream box. I have up to 5 cubic feet. What would you recommend if you built an SPL? Now you see how there's all this information and everything has changed. But here's the thing. It goes up to 145.6. It gained another 1.5 dB. But let's see what happened with the excursion. Excursion is actually staying really smooth still. So as you see, this actually worked out that it generates same thing. It went up 4.59, and it tells you the port sizes. So this is your port vent size. So let's just say, to make that easy, because it's an easy number, 3019, that'd be 15 inches high by 2 inches. Or 3 inches by 10 inches as a port, etc. Or if you want to say I want a round one, it'd be a 6.25 if you had a round boy, one of those fat boy ports. You did that long, and it only needs to be 4.2. It tunes it for 45 hertz, and that's it. And it needs to be there. And look at this thing will play beautiful music at all levels, as you can see. Now, if there's anybody who really, like as I said, that has a computer, man, and they have this system where they can actually verify this with me, or with everybody, because it would just be tuned for everybody here on YouTube. But if they could verify, that would be the sickest. But anyways, so there's some information for you how that actually looks. Okay. Now let's go into our next one then. So we see how this program works. This is a verification program to tell you how it could work in your vehicle by putting this information. You can buy this app. I can't remember how much it was. It was under $10. It is on Google Play. So now the next thing that we need to look at is this app. It is a freaking cool app. Kick it sideways. I should avoid this. Okay. Now, so this app is this way. Now, this app is called Ultimate Car Audio app. Now, you can also get this one here as well.